We going live to keep this shit alive. Nobody wants this shit more than I want it. You kidding me, bro? Oh, boys. Oh, boys. Oh, dudes and dudeskies. We out here on it. We out here on it, boys. By the way, yes, I have seen the new MXGP 2020 gameplay. We got a video coming out on that pronto ASAP Rocky. That'll be out tomorrow morning. Trust me. We got the reaction to that shit. Trust me. Coming out quick. Trust. Yeah, the T-Sipper, the predictor. Yeah, they gon' know. They gon' know. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's starting to get to a point now where I predict shit. I've predicted so many things years in advance. It's getting to some psychic level predictions now. Like, holy crap. Even I couldn't have predicted to have predicted this many things in advance. Like, it's starting to get to a level, dude. I don't even know how to explain it anymore. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically that new MXGP 2020 gameplay came out, right? And it's pretty much exactly what I've been saying for the past 4 years, right? Milestone not making big enough of improvements, and gameplay looks stale, no differences to the track designs, all that kind of shit. All that kind of shit. It's exactly what it looks like, so yikes. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Do not buy MXGP 2020, the official video game. Don't do it. It's all I needed to see. I already had like some worries about it, obviously. They literally have one singular new feature on their features page of their website with this game, the new MXGP 2020 game. Then the gameplay comes out, literally looks like MXGP 2019.2. It's about what it looks like, so I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't buy it if I was you. So yeah, all of our fears about MXGP 2020 are kind of seeming to be coming true, so but either way, we out here ripping on the 4 fatty JS7 compound on the you know, that game that was just a worse reflex physics game with less content? You know that one? Kind of cool. Kind of fun. Nah, for real though, like, I put a lot of time into Alive. Like, a lot of time into Alive. Some people don't understand how much time a lot of people don't understand how much time I have into Reflex, but they really don't understand how much time I have had into Alive back in the day when it first came out. Like, if I could guess, I would say I have at least 2,000 hours into Alive. At least. And then obviously, like I've said forever, I have like 8,000 to 10,000 into the 360 version of Reflex. So I've put my fair share into Alive. There's just a lot of things about this game that I think what hurt Alive so much is the fact that it came out right after the GOAT arcade motocross game. You know, it came out right after Reflex. I feel like that in itself kind of hurt Alive in a way, because it just did not at all live up to Reflex. Like, if Alive would have just came out sort of on its own, like not right after Reflex, I think it would have seemed a lot better. But you know, you can't help but to directly compare everything that Alive was to Reflex. You know, yeah, how the hell does MXGP not have actual ruts? Like, there's none of that shit. There's no inside ruts. There's no pre-made. There's nothing. When I say it looks just like MXGP 2019, it looks just like MXGP 2019. I am not, like, over-exaggerating that or shitting you. It looks like MXGP 2019 with 0.2 better, like, physics and 0.2 better graphics. Not even 0.5. I'm not even going to give it that, dog. Not even going to give it a 0.5. It's like like I say, it's like MXGP 2019.2. It's about what it looks like. So, really disappointing. Jumps still look tiny. No roughness. No real pre-made ruts. Like, nothing. Small jumps. No real, like, oh, okay, they really improved the whip physics. Oh, shit, yeah. Like, oh, man. Oh, man. So, but basically the way I see all you boys in chat, what's up, guys? Appreciate you tuning in to another stream. We got us a dandy today, boys. So, the way I would sort of look at it is like, I would have thought with the way Alive was when it came out and all that, like the physics and everything like that, it would have made more sense to me if Alive was the one that came out in 2009 and then Reflex was the one that came out in 2011. That would have made more sense than Reflex coming out before Alive. You know what I mean? That's how backwards Alive really does feel. Now, of course, all the games after Alive have been pretty god-awful, so I think that, in a way, sort of helped Alive's case, because it was like, Alive was probably one of the closest things we've had to Reflex since Reflex, so... But then, Supercross 3 came out. It had some, some more decent physics, things like that. But, yeah, I mean, like, Alive, I don't know, man. There's just so many things to this game that I'm just like, why did they do that? Like, why did they change that from the way it was in Reflex? Why? It's as if they were trying too hard to make, like, new mechanics to the game. And I think it ended up kind of firing backwards on their ass a little bit. Specifically with, like, I don't know why on earth they felt the need to bring back an actual seat bounce button. It worked just fine the way it was in Reflex, not having a seat bounce button. It worked just fine. I don't know why they felt the need to add that back. But, that was just kind of one aspect to it. And then it had the whole kind of bizarre, like, clutch. You can kind of get like a clutch boost every time if you hold down the clutch and let out as soon as you land. Don't really understand why that was added to this game. There's just quite a few things, the 450s feel super heavy in this game. Obviously, it has a little bit more of a floaty feeling to the physics. There's quite a few things that make it very different from the way Reflex was. Very different. The speed feeling is just not like it was in Reflex. The whips are certainly not like they were in Reflex. It's definitely a completely different game. I just think it's just a worse in every way Reflex. And I say that sort of in a positive and a negative way at the same time. You got to understand what I'm saying. If I say it's like Reflex, that's saying it's decent in a certain sense, right? But when you directly compare it to Reflex, it's not really better in any way. This game has no bike tuning at all. It had no Supercross tracks other than the James Stewart compound Supercross shit, right? This game would have been literally nothing without this JS7 compound. Literally nothing. So this was the start of all that weird-ass microtransaction, let's put out half of a content of a game type shit. At least this game did have 3 free ride tracks. At least I can give it that. But, there's just... I mean, come on now. Come on now. The only way you could actually think the physics of this game are better than Reflex is one of two things. Either this was your first motocross game ever that you ever played or ever really got into. You're an Alive baby, what I like to call you, right? So you got all this super nostalgia to Alive, and you didn't really play Reflex back when it first came out and stuff like that, back on the 360, where I feel like that was the best console of Reflex. Console for Reflex, and then you might have, like, hopped on Reflex on the PC version and, like, played it for, like, 100 hours, and then you're like, oh, well, yeah, of course Alive's better. I feel like there's a lot of people that kind of did that. They didn't really play Reflex back on the consoles, so they didn't get that full effect. Oh, another thing I absolutely hated about Alive, I just don't understand why they felt the need to have a chassis upgrade in this game. That was super annoying. Like, why would you ever make an upgrade to the bike that basically, like, has a lesser than physics feeling on the bike? That makes no sense. Like, it's one thing to have acceleration, like speed, you know, exhaust, you know, improvements you can make to the bike and tires and things like that. Then they can change the attributes of the bike and stuff. But that was just annoying having this, like, super restrictive bike until you unlock the chassis for each individual bike. That was kind of bizarre. I think that was just kind of another one of those. They were trying to add on another thing you could, you know, improve on the bike, but it just wasn't really worth it. It was just kind of pointless. So there's a few things like that I wasn't the biggest fan of, but all in all, it wasn't like a terrible game. You know, I can definitely come in here and have some fun on a live. You know, I certainly can. Like, I would much rather play a live than, like, a lot of those milestone games. Let me just say that. So, but yeah. So, but that was another thing about it, you know, it really was sort of half of the content. Yeah, they did come out with those little DLC, little 2, like, Supercross track type things of this game, but they were kind of weird, and it certainly wasn't like having a full-blown Supercross series by any stretch of the imagination. So, but yeah. Yeah, it was a shame they weren't able to actually release, like, everything for this game that they were supposed to. That would have been really cool. That kind of ended up, like, coming out in MX vs. ATV Supercross, so they ended up kind of splitting the games in a way, and then it was really weird because they could never get these Alive physics back for some reason. Like, MX vs. ATV Supercross just was not able to get this Alive physics vibe back, which was really unfortunate. You know, I was kind of hoping it was going to be like that, and then Encore comes out. It's still not really like Alive, right? So, man, this 450 is heavy in this game, though. Jesus Christ. I think some of these games get, and I've kind of noticed this with a few of them, but, like, oh, my God. This 450 feels so heavy in this game. I'm about to get on the 250, dude. It's almost to the point where the 450 is so heavy feeling that it feels like the 250 is actually better on Supercross in this game. That's literally the vibe that I get. Yeah, let me go get on a 250 real quick. Let me go get on the 250 fatty. What's up, boys? Just tuning in. So this is gonna say I'm like level 18 and 19. This is on a new account. On my old account that I actually played this game on, I was max level 50 with the scrub fucking thing you could put on the dude and all that. I had all this maxed out at one point, but I ended up getting new accounts on everything, so that's why a lot of my shit looks like I've not played it very much. Trust me, I put the hours into this game. Let's get back on this Takashi. Well, Takashi 250. Yeah, so that was another bizarre thing that they added kind of for no reason, the rider skills. Like, I was okay with a lot of them, but I can't stand when they have this, like, we're not going to let you experience the actual full scrubbing physics of our game until you get to level 50 in our game. That is stupid. That makes no sense. Why would you lock off, like, physics fillings of your game behind a time wall? That's so dumb. Kind of the same way with the chassis improvements to this game. Is like, why? Why would you do that? Like, I just hate when they have some sort of upgradable, like, thing that you get after playing the game for a long time that changes the physics of it. You know, Reflex didn't have anything like that. Like, your first day, second play in Reflex, yeah, you're not going to have a max top speed bike or max, you know, handling bike and things like that, but you're still going to have the quote-unquote physics of Reflex. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have this, like, scrub perk that you unlock at the maximum level. You know, there's nothing like that on Reflex. Like, as soon as you get into it, you're experiencing the physics of Reflex. You know? So it's kind of one of those things I wasn't the biggest fan of Alive. But either way, so not a terrible game, though. Just unfortunate, kind of unfortunate circumstances, really, with everything that happened with, you know, Rainbow Studios. I heard, you know, a lot of people talked about that they lost the files to you know, Reflex. That's why this game wasn't as much like Reflex as you would have thought. But I mean, like, look at this 250 though. Look how much more nimble this shit is. Like, it's insane when you get on these little supercross tracks that are super, you know, super one-to-one scaling, like on this Stewart compound. It's like, I don't think the 450 is better on this track. I really don't, which is weird. So there's a little bit of a rhythm here, but yeah, they really started changing up on their, at least on this Stewart compound, they really started changing up on their, like, track scaling with their supercross tracks, so that was interesting. You know, I'm not, like, super against these kind of track designs by any means, but just unfortunate we didn't get that, like, full supercross series in this game. I think that would have helped it a lot. Would have helped it quite a bit. But, yeah, that damn clutch boosting shit, man. I hate that. I really do hate that. Okay. Now we're getting it popping. Jumped that a little too far, Big Daddy Fatty. Yeah, imagine if this game had more tracks. Imagine if this game, you know, had the physics of, like, Reflex, but more. Imagine. It's just unfortunate, but is what it is. I know this game definitely has some nostalgia for people, though, and that will play heavily into what people think is, like, the greatest of whatever. You know, a lot of people just basically, there's a ton of people that will just instantaneously shoot towards whatever the first motocross game they ever got into was. You know, a lot of people will kind of go down that road. So, but Alive was interesting, definitely. So there was no 252 strokes in this game, if we just want to kind of continue to go down the line here. No 252 strokes, other than the little secret one on that one free ride track. I'm still confused why they never put that into this game. I always thought that was stupid back in the day. Oh, look at that. You can almost, like, quad that. I think that was a quad. So this, we just need to jump to here, then jump to there. This game has a very interesting, like, super momentum swing feeling to it, which is really bizarre. That's one thing that is, like, very different about this game and Reflex, you know? This game, it's almost like you're landing in quicksand, unless you land, like, absolutely perfectly with the little clutch trick shit. You know, it's going to be like you land in quicksand, you know? It's like all of your momentum just gets so robbed when you land. I think they might have went a little overboard with that aspect of the game. I think there's a little too much momentum swinging in this game. And it makes it like you're either hitting that rhythm, like, demortally perfectly, or you're, like, rolling. You know, there's, like, almost no in between. So that was a little weird aspect of the game. You know, Reflex has a little bit more of a feeling of, like, fluent flowing through the jumps and things. So even if you mess up a little on Reflex, a lot of times you can kind of gather yourself back up. This game, it's tough to gather yourself back up. Real tough. That triple, need to figure that out a little better here. Could you imagine if Reflex had a James Stewart compound in it? Like, stock James Stewart compound track? Let's just talk about how much better Reflex would have been had it had a track like this in it. Oh, my word. Like, with the, you know, stock track Reflex scaling and stuff like that from the developers. Whew. Whew. That would have been so good. That actually makes me kind of sad that this track came out in Alive and not Reflex. Damn. Damn it. Dude, damn it. That would have been so good. Could you imagine? Oh, man. Of course, this track is kind of made for Alive, you know? So it's got real Alive sort of graphical look to it and everything and scaling and stuff. But could you imagine had they made a track like this Reflex Supercross scaling and all that kind of shit on Reflex? Whew. That would have been a vibe and a half. That would have been an absolute vibe and a half. Boys, I appreciate you tuning in to the stream. Yeah, I don't actually know how you got the JS7 compound with this. I think I might have had to actually purchase this, like, separately. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure. I know on my old account I had, like, a lot of shit in here. Like, I had all the DLC, you know, real-life bikes and everything. I had all that on my old account, but I was, like, max level, you know, had all that little scrub shit. But I don't have that on this one, so I don't really remember. I think I had to actually buy this on this account, though. Like, separate little DLC track shit. This was a vibe, though, dude, I'm telling you. But there was never a time. You know, I sat there and played Reflex from 2010 till this game came out, and even after. But even when this game came out, there was never a time where I was like, okay, this is better than Reflex. It was one of those things of like, every time I played this game, I was like, well, it's cool, but it's still not Reflex, you know? So I just want to make it clear, you know, my opinions on this have been this way since literally 2011. You know, I wasn't like on a bandwagon and then jumped off and then changed opinions, and then like I literally had that opinion from the very start. But there was cool aspects to this game, definitely, you know. It was probably one of the better whip systems we've had since this game. It may be, actually. When I think back to it, like, certainly none of those milestone games have really lived up to this kind of a whip system, right? Obviously, I enjoyed Reflexes better than this, but I mean, you know, everything that came out after Alive, I don't think really, you know, matched up to this game. Certainly not in the whip aspect of it. Let's go to another track here, boys. We out here having a good old time. Good old time on some MX versus ATV Alive. We're going live with Alive. Yeah, I saw the MXGP 2020 gameplay. Don't you worry about that. We got a video coming out on that pronto ASAP Rocky, big dog. We got a video coming out on that pronto ASAP Rocky. Don't you worry about that. There was some cool free ride tracks, man. I've rode a many laps on, or I mean a many hours on these. Another thing I didn't really like, I know this is kind of like a, you know, Spencer, shut up about how much all these negatives about Alive, but another thing I wasn't really the biggest fan of was this infinite wheelie stoppy system to this game, like your first day playing the game. Like, I thought that was really dumb. It was like they took Reflex and just made it more arcadey. That's what this game felt like to me. Like, let me get over here and I'll show you. It takes no skill at all to ride an infinite wheelie in this game. I'm talking none. I'm talking a 2-year-old could do it. Infinite wheelie or stoppy. You know how Reflex, you at least got to have a little bit of talent to ride a stoppy for a long ways or a wheelie for a long ways? You ain't got to have no skills in this game to do it. None. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. I've not rode a wheelie in this game in like 8 years, but let me just show you. So you just get it to this point like this, and it's just infinite. It's just like no skill to it at all. Absolutely none. No skill at all to the wheelie system. You can literally go for infinity and beyond. I hit a bump there, okay, but you get my point. So that was another kind of, that wasn't the biggest fan of that side of it. This was a cool track though. Certainly. This one had that crazy ass like 2-stroke like fucking doom buggy. Or what was it? Was it an ATV? Yeah, I think it might have actually been a 2-stroke ATV. Where was that shit? It was like right up over here. Let me look real quick. Oh my god, that sand is bright, boys. That sand, she's a bright. Oh shit. Yeah, it's like right up over here. I can't even... Dude, it's been so long. Where the fuck was that? It was like over here or down in a little valley or... like down in a little... Once I find it again, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's where it was. It's been a minute since I've... It's like in one of these little coves or some shit. Where the fuck was it? Oh my god, that was a whip and a half. Little path between the rocks to it. Yeah, right. Oh, that looked like a path. Somewhere up over here. Maybe it was back this way a little. Let's take a little gander. What's up, boys? Just tuning in. We're going live to keep this shit alive. Little path. Where you at, you little son bitch? Where you at, you little son bitch? Oh, I think I see it. Is it right up here? I don't get to it from here, do I? Let's see. Oh, I think I found it. Boys and girls, dudes and dudeskies. Oh, shit. I think I'm on it. I think I'm on the hunt. Come on now, Spency boy. Is it like right? Just trying to look around. That is definitely not it. Good one, Spence. That is certainly not it. I know some of you boys are like, Spencer, it's right there, dude. Just go right there. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Okay, here we go. Now we got it going on. This thing was pretty kick-ass. We're going to hell and back on this thing. Okay, that was more like a phone, but let's not talk about it. Bring, ding, 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 ding. Yeah, I love my sound effects, boys. They can't hang with Spency boy. We out here on the ATV kicking ass, taking names, going to hell and back. No big deal. No big deal. I appreciate you guys tuning into another stream. Spency boy just out here playing some different motocross games. Give me a 1 in chat if I need to keep streaming every day. I want to know, boys, do you like these daily streams? Is it like, Spence, that's a little too big, Hassan? Is it like, calm the fuck down? Or is it like, hey, yeah, that's cool, stream every day, dude? I'll keep supporting you, like, let me know. Obviously, we got video on MXGP, new MXGP 2020 gameplay coming out in the AM, in the morning. So we'll have a vid out on that. Plus, got a couple more vids coming down the pipeline here. What I want to start doing is basically uploading a video in the morning and then streaming like a little later in the day. I think that'd be a pretty good way to do it. Yeah, you can ski on this thing too. 89 dudes in the chat. Holy shit, boys. What's up, guys? Boys are popping off. I gotta say, this is like pretty iconic Alive shit right here. Certainly. Oh, there we go. We're taking a little dive. This was a cool... I have to admit, they were pretty clever with this little island area over here because you had to think a little bit. Right? You had to kind of think about where you were going a little bit. So that was pretty cool. Boys, we got memberships. All you got to do is hit the join button. Check that shit out. We got... obviously, I read off super chats. So I appreciate all that support. I need one more member to get another custom emoji slot, so we're still trying to do that shit. We out here on this too, smoking, four-wheeling, big hossing, tea sipping, tea dripping, money flipping. Oh, there we go. There we go. Dude, I put many hours in on this free ride track. Ain't no doubt about that. This was like back in the dubstep wave days. I rode a many hours on this track listening to some like fucking like Skrillex and shit. That was a whole vibe back in the day. That was a whole vibe. But yeah, you kind of had this little water skim area right down through here. Oh my god, the wheelie god. Just kidding. Anybody can be a wheelie god in this game. It's not difficult, trust me. Oh shit. Okay, well, I might be screwed now. Let me try to back up a little. Shit, I'm looking at chat. Let me have some excuses here while I'm just like going off into the abyss. I wonder if you got to do that all in one sequence. I can't really remember. It's been a long time. Let me see here. Yeah, Reflex didn't quite have like a water skimming mechanic. Yeah, I think you got to do it all at once. So I think we might have to backtrack. I might have to do it. I can do it from this one. Yeah, that's what it was. I think I can get it all from this one. Trying to get far enough back here to be able to do this. Yeah, now we got it, boys. Now. Oh my god, look at how that... Holy shit, that cuts... Oh my god. You have to do it all in one. Okay, kind of seems like it. It's like cutting my wheels to the left and right when I come off the water, or when I go onto the water right there. So that's a little bit interesting. Okay, let's try to scoot back here. This thing's kind of a little squirrely. You can see me getting out of hand here. This thing is a little squirrely on me, boys. Okay. Make sure we got a world of plenty of speed. Okay. Dude, look at how it cuts the... Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They can't hang. 100 dudeskies in the chat. Holy shit. Oh, my God. You boys are some legends out here. This is not technically, I don't think, the first ever 100 dude stream I ever had, but it's the first time I've ever personally seen 100 right down here on what I'm looking at. So, holy shit. I think this is the biggest stream I've ever had right here. Like, active viewers. Holy, we're at 104. Holy shit. This is pretty badass, boys. Pretty badass. Be sure and hit that notification bell for my channel if you want these notifications. I've been streaming like a big hoss. We've been big tea sipping, big tea dripping. God bless, boys. This is a lot of people. I was not expecting this much, but like I say, this area and this map of Alive is pretty damn iconic. Like, everybody that plays this game knows, like, put some time in on this free ride track, you know? Everybody did that back in the day. I will admit, Alive, even though I still don't think it was as good as Reflex, it certainly did give you a vibe. It certainly did give you a nostalgia, you know? It certainly did have a element of that, you know what I mean? So, anytime it can be like that, it's certainly interesting. But yeah, if you don't really know what's going on with the memberships on my channel, it's basically just like a Twitch subscription, same price, same everything, but you can hit the join button, it'll explain everything you get with that, but become a Dudeski today. So that's basically like my my little club, my little clan, gives you access to the Dudeski role in my Discord, so when I'm in there playing these games off stream, you can go in there and talk to me in my Discord, in the Dudeski role, and gives you access to that, so it's pretty cool. You can hop on there and play, you know, I get on there and play games like Warzone, MXM, MX Bikes multiplayer, and once you become a member, you get access to that. Yeah, that would be interesting if YouTube could add a gift, like a gift member side of it, but I don't think they could actually do that, though, because with YouTube, like, you create everything when it comes to the memberships, you know? You make the price of it, you make the perks of it, you do everything. So there's a lot of people have, like, all different levels of membership prices and fucking things. I just made it really simple. One standard thing, like a Twitch subscription, same price. You know, a bunch of perks. So I tried to make it as simple as possible. Just one tier. You know, I didn't make like multiple tiers. Some people literally have like 5 tiers of memberships on their channel. Shit's pretty insane. But I just wanted to kind of simplify it. What's up, Sam? What's up, dude? Dude, it's just cool ripping around, like seeing this track again. It's been a long time. Oh my God. 69 dudeski's in the chat, giggity. We got all the way up to 104 dudes in the chat a while ago. That was straight big hossing. My biggest stream ever. That was definitely big hossing, boys. I did like the vibe of this track as well. Or this map, whatever you want to call it. Okay, let's go to a different one here. Hell yeah. Yeah, I was getting like an interesting little slick vibe when I went from the water to the sand there. That's what was making it kind of slide out on me. Just reiterating, you say I'm level 20 here. This is on a newer account. On my old account, I was level 50, scrub fucking thing and everything. I had it maxed out back in the day. But, I don't know. I think I had that on an older Xbox 360 and different account and everything. So let's see what we got here. Let's run a race. Hell yeah. So you got to get to level 25 in this game to unlock these last few tracks here. So we should be able to do that pretty quick. Let's do a little 45 Palms MX. Bro, all time, we ain't playing around. We ain't playing around. In terms of fun factor on anything, 125 is the funnest bike, period. In real life, on Reflex, it don't matter. It's the funnest bike, in my opinion. But some games, see, that's one thing I fucking loved about Reflex was it had that perfect balance between like the 125 was not like, you know, better than the 450. It wasn't like insanely better, but it also wasn't like super, super slow either to where it was like really boring. But at the same time, you know, the 450 didn't feel like way heavier than the smaller bikes on Reflex or anything. You know, that whole sort of like different bike CC, weight, physics and everything, that shit was just perfect in Reflex to me. Absolutely D-Mortly perfect. So that made all the different kind of bikes so fun to ride, and it felt like the 450 was actually the fastest bike. Whereas this game can kind of give you vibes sometimes where it feels like the 250 is actually better. I'm not saying it's actually faster speed-wise, but it's feels so much more lighter and nimble than the 450 that it feels like it's actually faster. Especially on Supercross on this game. I mean, the 450 is probably a little bit, you know, better, like top speed, high speed area sections, but I prefer to ride the 250 on Alive. Like, straight up. Kind of the way I feel on MX bikes as well. I'm kind of like riding the 350 better than the 450 on MX bikes. So these games got to be really careful with, you know, making the 450 like the best bike in the game, but also not making it so damn heavy to where it feels like you're riding a truck, you know, like you're goddamn riding a train. Like, they got to be careful of that. And it's a balance, you know, and then the 125 is kind of its own balance. You got to be able to make it still fast enough to be fun to play, but not like insanity, like way too fast for a 125. So there's a kind of a balance to that as well. Okay, let's try to actually win this race. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm goofing around. Martin Davalos. Oh, Martini. Game came out in 2011, dog. 2011. That was about right when I first got into real life racing. That would have been right about that time frame. I think I started kind of more in like 2010, but that was about that time. It's interesting to see all these different names in this game, like Christian Craig, Davalos. Kind of funny. This is a cool little tropical, like Hawaii red dirt vibe track. That was cool. Always enjoyed the vibes of this game, definitely. It had some cool ones on it. But yeah, you know, it in the whole, like, oh my god, I'm gonna get, what, 5th? What the hell, Spencer? I feel like I wasn't focusing on the start of that one. My bad. I'll try to pay attention on this next one. The whole shot's like everything to these races. We'll get to level 25 here pretty quick. We'll go to some of those later tracks of the game. But come on, you got to admit, you guys know how the 450 feels in this game. Like, it feels pretty heavy. Pretty damn heavy, dude. You know, normally I like to take nimbleness over that little bit of extra, you know, bottom end acceleration. I like nimbleness better than that. But sometimes it's so much more. It's enough acceleration more on the 450 to where it's worth it, you know. Alrighty then. I had some fun on split screen in this game back in the day, though. The Zan Man, we're out here, boys. We got the purple Perp Skirp Galaxy Purple gear. Straight Big Daddy vibing. Straight Big Daddy hossing. You know we got the tea on deck. 2 teacups on deck. Why is it... Let me... Hang on just a second. Gamer tags... I don't really need the HUD. I don't want to see like all their things. Yeah, this is better. This is better. Okay, that put us back just a little. Interestingly enough, this game did actually have a okay terrain deformation system to it. So it was weird, you know, it was like it took some positives of Reflex in a way, but at the same time, it still just couldn't live up to Reflex, you know? Because you would have just thought, you know the difference between Untamed and Reflex. You know how much of a difference that was. Like, pretty much every aspect of the game got better. Every single aspect. So you just would have expected the game after Reflex, you know, at least being on the level of Reflex, but it just really wasn't. It just really wasn't, man. But that's what happens when you get those legendary games. It's just like everything comes together at the perfect moment, perfect development like area, perfect. They're, you know, not getting too greedy with the money. You know, all these things come together. I'm just glad they were able to make a game like Reflex. I really am, man. That was so cool. This, you can jump to there, but you gotta be careful. But yeah, I'm confused on why they have continued to have an actual seat bounce button. I mean, I still think we have a seat bounce button in All Out. Like, what are you doing, MX vs. ATV? That's a super outdated feature, like, gameplay feature. It was perfect in Reflex, not having, like, an actual seat bounce button to where you're... the whole time you're playing, you know? You know what I'm saying? That was cool in Reflex, how you could just lean and do it, you know? You could just kind of lean with it, rock with it. You didn't have to actually hit a seat bounce button. I enjoyed that way better, the way that was in Reflex, than the way it is, like, in a lot of these games. I don't want to feel like I have to hit a button every single time I come off a jump face. I think that might have been the end of the race. I think this is the last lap right here. Let me try to catch up. So I really think they need to look into the way Reflex was. You know, I don't think there needs to be any kind of clutch landing boosting, no kind of actual, you know, seat bounce button. Like, I want there to be seat bouncing and hucking, but not a literal seat bounce button. You see what I'm saying? Not a literal, like, flick back and forth and see a little fucking little icon, you know, little bar go up to the side. Like, I'm talking about how Reflex was. You know, there was still a seat bouncing hucking system to Reflex, but it was kind of just built into the physics. You know, it wasn't like a literal button. So I feel like that was the better way to do that. That's how they need to do that going forward, I think, personally. Man, I got to relearn these tracks, bro. They certainly did do some reusing of tracks in this game, no doubt. It's pretty much like you have 3... Yeah, clutch boosting is terrible. I hate that. And it was really bad in this game. But yeah, so what the hell was I... I'm losing my damn train of thought. Let me get on another track here. Hell yeah. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about here. So, basically in a nutshell, minus the Stewart compound, all they really had here was like 3 or 4 different kind of tracks when you really think about it, right? Because this track is built off of the same track that this track was built off of, and that track was built off of the same track that this track was built off of. Same way with these tracks were built off of the same track. All the snow ones were built off of the same track. All the desert ones were built off of the same track. So, in a way, it really wasn't like having as many different kind of track biomes as you might would think. You know, obviously with Reflex, they have basically like 2 tracks in the same biome of each thing. But even still with that, you know, Sandwick is quite a bit different from Sugar Ridge, you know? So that one wasn't super similar. That one kind of had a bit of a different vibe. And then, I don't know, they just, even though some of the tracks had like similar biomes in Reflex, they still had a way of making them feel super different. What's up, boys? We going alive to keep this shit alive. I think I got like 14 members right now, so I need 1 more to get that next custom emoji slot. We're trying to work for it. These snow tracks were a vibe, definitely. Oof. But, you know, when you start going back to like, Untamed, Unleashed, oh my God. I mean, it was like they had, you know, 15 different biomes in one game, or 15 different vibes in one game, you know, whereas like nowadays, it's like you're lucky to get 3 different biomes in a game, or 3 different kind of vibes to a track in a game, and then it's just kind of copy and pasted and you know, multiple tracks made out of the same biome type shit. That's one thing I've been really critical on Milestone about this whole time. You know, obviously they're making replica tracks and things, but holy crap. That is so annoying when, like, they have one free ride track that's one biome, and that's it. And then the only other things in the game are the replica tracks. Just like, oh my God. They really need to start giving you more free ride tracks in those Milestone games. Straight up, dude. There ain't even a question about it, bro. And that MXGP 2020 don't look like it's going to have any more than one free ride, standard Woodland free ride track on it. So don't get your hopes up on that one. Okay, gotta remember, there's a big daddy fatty jump right here. The whips are kind of funny in this game. Like, they're definitely fluent, but they're like a, I don't know. They're certainly more of a, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. It's certainly not like Reflex's whip system. That's for sure. But I've seen worse, definitely. MX vs. ATV Supercross's whip system was just like this, but worse. And Encore's whip system was just like this, but worse. So, trust me, I've seen worse. Isn't it funny, though, how you can literally point back to Reflex? And it's literally to the point where Reflex had the best of everything. Not just the best of one thing. Or like, oh, well, it was really good in all these ways, but the whips weren't as good. No. It was the best in everything. Whip physics, air physics, ground physics, track designs, free ride, fucking everything. It was the best in everything. Terrain deformation, different kind of track dirt compounds, like Supercross track scaling variations. It was everything, dog. It literally was everything. I mean, Reflex's graphics were on point for its time, too. Like, it certainly wasn't like a, you know, shitty graphics game for its time. And then you get to the PC version of Reflex. Then you got all the custom content. It's like, oh my word. I think we're in first right now. Boys, I appreciate you tuning in to this stream. You know, Reflex had Enduro, Omnicross, Freestyle, full-blown Freestyle series. Just had everything in reality. It had the best, what I consider the best, like I was saying before, how all the different bikes, like, sort of stack up to each other. You know, the 450 feels like a 450, the 125 feels like a 125 without being super slow and boring. You know, the 450 feels good without feeling too heavy. You know, it's like it just had just enough of all of those little things. It's certainly the bar. There ain't no doubt about it. Even to this day, a decade later, it's the bar. Like, if you're not looking at Reflex when you go to make a newer AAA motocross game, what the hell are you doing? Because that is the GOAT. That's like so much the GOAT that it's not even like up for debate. It's one of those where it's just not even up for debate. You know? It's not like there's a game that's, oh, well, it's probably not as good as Reflex, but it's really close. No. There's not even one that's close. I hate to break it to some of you boys, but there's not even one that's even close to Reflex. Like, yeah, Alive is similar to Reflex in some ways and things, but in all reality, still ain't even close, bro. Still. Yeah, those newer Supercross games and stuff got some really cool graphics and things of that nature, but in all reality, still, it ain't even close. As far as the value you're getting out of a $60 game, Reflex was just legendary for that. The amount of time you could put into that game, whoo-hoo. Oh me, oh my. In the snap scrubbing on the 360 version of it and everything, holy crap. It was something else, man. So Reflex's multiplayer works on PC. Whoops, shit, sorry, I hit restart. Yeah, graphics doesn't make good physics. Go look at that new MXGP 2020 gameplay. That's literally the definition of that. Let's get on a different track here, broskies. think a lot of boys got real tricked up in those milestone games. Really tricked up. Oh, this one was kind of weird and cool. This little quarry. I mean, come on. These motocross games have dropped the ball. There ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt. Oh, this track. Holy shit. Yeah, I put some laps in on this one, too. This was interesting. Interesting little vibe track. Holy, big overjump, boys. One thing I will say about Alive, though, is it still had a decent, like, pop-off system. Like, it feels like, you know, you can jump pretty good, still land, like, decent stuff without popping off, but then times where you think, like, okay, I really should pop off there, you do pop off. So it's got a decent balance of, like, that, you know, the pop-off skill gap. Realism, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's got decent. Yeah, just take it from me right here, right now. Do not buy MXGP 2020. It looks like MXGP 2019.2 in every way. Do not buy it. Don't you do it. Save the money. Save the money. Fuck, I would just, like, save the money just to buy Supercross 4 instead of MXGP 2020. You know what I mean? Milestone's getting in a pickle because everybody's catching on now. You know, the Spency boy was onto their shit like 4 years ago. You remember me warning you about all this like 4 years ago? You know, the T-Sipper the predictor out here. Right? I knew it would end up like this. I'm fucking sidekick. Right? But now, 3 or 4 years later, now the mass audience of Milestone, even the Milestone fanboys are starting to catch on because they're continuing to make these 0.2 improvements and shit, right? So now their mass audience is starting to catch on to their horse shit. Literally one new feature with their new game. One, singular, one, uno, right? I mean, the track designs don't look any different at all. Looks exactly like MXGP 2019 track designs. No pre-made, no bigger jumps, same old same, Milestone horseshit. I got a full video coming out on it tomorrow. Don't you worry about that. Trust me. So this game did have these interesting little short tracks, which were kind of fun. That was bizarre. So these are how you level yourself up really quick in this game, by the way. You just get on here and do all-time shortest amount of laps on these little tracks, and you can level yourself up real quick. Once we get to level 25, then we can go to the ladder tracks. It's really bizarre to me to see how many people say Alive was their favorite MX versus ATV game. That's really weird for me to see that. I want to know I would love to see the statistics on how many people that say Alive was their favorite MX versus ATV game, like their age. Because that would tell a tale on that one. Because if they're kind of like where they were anywhere from, you know, 10 to 15 when Alive came out back in 2011, they're certainly going to have more of a connection to Alive than they would have had with Reflex, right? Probably a lot of them boys never even played Reflex on an actual console. So that would be interesting to see the stats on that. But, yeah. trust me, if you put the amount of time I put into Reflex on the Xbox 360 with the feeling of that game, physics of that game on the 360 specifically, that's what I can speak from because that's what I played 8,000 plus hours. Trust me, if you played that long on Reflex on the 360, it will not even be a question. What is your favorite MX versus ATV game? It will not even be a question. Now, if it's one of them things you've only ever played Reflex on PC or you've only played Reflex like, 100 hours or 500 hours, and then you've played Alive like a bunch more hours, or Alive is like the first one you really got into, there's like all these other things that can go into it that could make your opinion be different, but I just don't think if you'd put the time I put into Reflex on the console, I really don't think you'd have that kind of an opinion about it. I really don't. It's okay if you do, like everybody's free to their own opinion, but I think nostalgia plays a part, certainly. Certainly. So basically, Reflex is Michael Jordan and Alive is LeBron James. No big deal, no big deal. Holy shit, I was looking at chat. Whoops. Oh my god, at the Kawasaki's. Like 25 Kawasaki's here. I mean, like I've explained at the start of this stream, all the changes I didn't like with, Alive that was different from Reflex. There was a lot. Like, when I go back and look at it, there was a lot of changes I wasn't the biggest fan of with Alive. It just start... Holy shit. Let's go to a different track, actually. Let me go to that. The snow one's actually the easiest one to do this on. So, not only do I like the physics just in general of Reflex better in every way, ground, air, whip, scrub, everything better, but it's not just that. It's not just like a feeling thing. It's also mechanics that I didn't like as good that in Alive that I liked better in Reflex. Like I said, with the whole clutch boosting, and the Alive has a little bit more of a floaty, like I was saying. A lot of times feels like you lose a lot more momentum. It's either like you're hauling ass or you're rolling shit on Alive. There's not really an in-between, which is kind of bizarre. So there's all that. Like I say, I wasn't a fan of the chassis upgrades, and then that weird scrub upgrade when you get to level 50. I hate when they cut like physics fillings of the bike off, like time gate basically physics fillings to the bike. I hated all that. Obviously the content, it's got about half the content that Reflex had on it. So there was quite a few things like that. No 252 stroke, right? The 450 feels like you're riding an absolute truck and a half in this game. It's so heavy feeling. Quite a few little things. It's not a terrible game, but trust me, I am Reflex all day, every day, 3 times on Sunday, big dog. 3 times on Sunday. But it's interesting, though, when you talk about, like, Unleashed and Untamed and stuff, because those games were really good for their time. I don't think Untamed was quite as good as Unleashed, but, like, Unleashed was straight legendary for its time. I mean, it is the legendary MX vs. ATV game. But Reflex really, I feel, took all the feeling and everything, the mechanics and all that, to the next level, to where... the mechanics of it started getting to a really fun point, right? And then the terrain deformation of Reflex, and the different kind of dirt compounds, and the pre-made ruts, and the the tuning aspects of Reflex and pretty much everything. You know, the dual stick control integration into Reflex, and there's a lot of things that makes Reflex more of a fun experience when you go back and play it. I mean, I still love to go back and play Unleashed and Untamed and stuff, but you can tell Reflex pretty much hit that pinnacle of like motocross gaming mechanics, you know what I mean? It hit the pinnacle of the development of motocross gaming mechanics. It didn't feel... The only cheap kind of thing I can say about Reflex was you could kind of say the whip glitching to it. You know, that was a little bit of like a cheesy, cheap thing to it, but in a way, whip glitching kind of is like seat bouncing. I know it's not exactly like it, but, you know, I would much rather have whip glitching than clutch boosting. You know what I mean? I really would. But that's just me. Oh my God. Oh, another different thing about Alive from Reflex was they were really trying to... Holy shit. They were really trying to go more down the banging bars, so you could do a lot more... you could do a lot more banging bars in this game than you could on Reflex, which... It's all in how you want to look at that, right? But yes, there's times where somebody can run into you on Reflex and you just instantly pop off and you're like, what the hell is this? But also, there's a lot of times in Alive where it's like, okay, this is getting a little too arcadey on the collisions. You know, this is getting a little too... There ain't no way in hell you'd be able to bang bars this much, you know? Yes, it can feel like that, but it would have been interesting to see like a... Basically like if you combined Reflex and Alive. That would have been an interesting game. That would have been interesting. Yeah, dude said in chat, you wish the servers were up in these OG games. Yeah, that's why they need to make a collection, and where it's like new servers on new consoles and all these games are in one disc. They really need to do that. Certainly. Oh my God, boys, it just hit me with what that dude just said in chat. They could make, you know how MX vs. ATV is struggling to get back to their old days and all that shit? They're going to be coming out with a new game. They could call it MX vs. ATV Revive. Whew. I got the vision here, boys. You're hearing it here first. Jesus Christ, MX vs. ATV, you need to hire my ass. MX vs. ATV Revive, okay? So it's like Reflex, some of the good aspects of Alive together, but feels like a new game, new graphics, all that shit, with the James Stewart compound, all the positives of Reflex mixed with all the positives of Alive, and it's like reviving the series back again. Whew. Oh my God, dude, I got ideas for decades. Somebody, goddamn, somebody call up MX vs. ATV. Do they want to make money, or like what are they trying to do? Because I'm just waiting here, MX vs. ATV, no big deal. You know, the name would fucking make sense and go with everything. MX vs. ATV Revive, you heard it here first. It's too bad, boys. It's too bad. Yeah, so like Reflex physics, right? MX vs. ATV Alive, slightly more bar banging potential, but not all the way to the way it feels in Alive, right? More updated graphics, you know, Stewart compound, Trying to think. Obviously, real life bikes that aren't paid DLC. That'd be badass. Wow, I'm getting my ass handed to me on this track for some reason. I need to focus. Get on up there, Spency boy. So this was kind of the figure 8 shit to Alive. They were kind of promoting their super collision of the game, right? That was interesting. Let me focus here a little bit. Oh, some bitch. So this game still had a reflex-like system to it. That's interesting. Very interesting. Well, that was the end of that. T-boost. Oh my god, I swear to god. Yeah, the dude literally makes an animation where he pulls out a teacup out of thin air. He reaches over like he's about to like pull a tear off or something, and he like reaches into this dimensional galaxy warp hole and pulls out a cup of tea, pours it down his throat, and he just, all of a sudden the bike just hauls ass for like 5 seconds, like in mud. That'd be hilarious. Just kidding, by the way. I obviously don't want some silly element like that in the game, but that would be funny if that was in a game. Okay. Let's try to figure out what we're doing here. Ocean view. Yeah, we're getting pretty close to unlocking these other tracks here. See if we can do that shit. All time. 3-lapper. Okay. What's up, Jerry? I appreciate you, Doug. Oh, shit. We're like level 22 and a half right now. By the way, just reminding you guys, yes, I was max level in this game on an old account. This is all like new account shit I'm having to re-level up here. The old Sandman, dude. Mystery Man over here on my left. It's interesting. You can literally draw a pyramid from like MX vs. ATV Unleashed, or even MX Unleashed, all the way to Reflex, right? So that's like the pyramid starting, goes all the way up to the top of the pyramid. Now you're at Reflex, right? Then the pyramid goes back down, down, down. Once you go to Alive, it's like going down a little bit. Then you go to MX vs. ATV Supercross, it's going down even more. You know, it just went down, down, down after that. I will say, with All Out, even though they're still struggling a little with the physics of the game and stuff like that, I will say they are getting back to more of a content vibe like they used to have back in the day. They are getting to more of a free whip filling system like they used to have more so back in the day. They are certainly doing some positive things with All Out. That's what makes me real interested to see. Obviously, all the replica track DLC and stuff. That was really cool. You know, so I'm real interested to see what they end up doing with this next MX vs. ATV that they're working on. Because that's going to have some real potential to it. I think they're really digging down in those physics, really trying to figure out how they can get it a lot closer to the way it was in Reflex, you know, really trying to dig into that terrain deformation system, get it closer to the way it was in Reflex. I really think that's what they're doing right now. If they were smart, that's what they'd be doing, but I think they are doing that. I really do. Oh my God, that tire coming to kill somebody, dog. Okay, we're sitting in like 3rd place right now. Trying to catch on up here to the front pack. Oof. This is a triple into here. I did love this tropical vibe on this Alive game back in the day. I was a fan of that, no doubt. It's probably one of the most tropical vibed. Literally feels like you're riding on a Hawaii track that we maybe have ever gotten in an MX vs. ATV game. Obviously, with All Out, they had a tropical vibe to that, but man, I want to see them get more like into those cool vibes like they had back in Unleashed and Untamed, you know? Like damn Northern Lights and Pharaoh portal jumping and damn, I want to see them get back to that. Oh, carry some speed around that outside, no doubt. Oh, bro. It was interesting how the seat bouncing button in this game is actually different from the way it was in, oh shit. It's actually different from the way it was in, like, you know, Unleashed, Untamed and shit, like back in those days. You know, back in those days, it was more like a flick back and then forth. Whereas this is more just like a click down, pull back type system, so it's a little different. Okay, we're clicking. We're clicking. Yeah, let's do a race on that Stewart MX track. This is the full loop right here. All time, bro. I hate to say it, but All Out, I mean, shit, let me get my names right in my head. MX vs. ATV Alive wouldn't have been half of the game if it didn't have that James Stewart compound in it. It wouldn't have been considered half of the game that it ended up being. All because of that one James Stewart compound. Right? Because it was basically the only Supercross track content you had in the whole game when it first came out. So that was big. And obviously one of the best free ride, you know, areas ever. Awesome motocross big jumps to the track. Some of the biggest jumps in the whole game. You know, I'm just saying, this game would have been nowhere near what a lot of you boys consider it had it just not had this one track. So it's kind of crazy when you think of it like that. It's a little crazy, bro. Woo! Can jump that deep. We're going deep, boys. No big deal. Going deep out here. Oof! This game does have a slight little snap scrub feeling to it. Of course, when you get the little scrub perk, it's going to increase that a little bit. I had that back in the day. It's been a while since I rode with that perk, but I did ride with that way back in the day. Of course, they would make the scrub perk like literally the last thing you get. Why in the hell would they do that? Like, why don't you just, I don't know, give us your full physics scrub system like when we first get in and play your game? Why in the hell would you lock that off? I have no clue. That is one of the dumbest, that don't even make sense. Like, for you to lock off your actual physics filling system of your game behind some sort of unlock or some sort of time-gated thing, that is literally the dumbest thing you could ever do in a motocross game, because you're just basically preventing people from experiencing your actual physics, your true actual physics system to your game. That is so dumb. So the two things like that in this game are obviously the level 50 scrub perk unlock and then the chassis upgrades to the bike. It's just stupid. Like, let me experience your physics. Stop locking that off behind shit. Like, why on earth would you ever do that? Really, really a weird change that they made in this game from Reflex. I was always really confused about that one. We're going for the lead. These boys can't hang. We're racing against Malcolm Stewart out here. No big deal. No biggie. Oh, shit. It's back when the whole track went the other direction from what a lot of you boys know of it nowadays. Interesting. Like, even to this day, you could... What the fuck? Had a little, milestone sniper shoot you off the bike for no reason right there. I don't know what the hell that was. There's a few little quirky things like that to the physics of this game that you don't hardly ever experience on Reflex. There definitely is. There's a few of them. There's a few little quirky things like that. It just doesn't feel as, like, fluent as Reflex. It doesn't feel as free-flowing, fluent, landing, scrubbing, whipping, jumping. All that feels so much more natural, fluent, flowing, you know, normal motion. This game feels more kind of like stop, go, super lose momentum, try to whip as hard as you can, but it's, like, not really as smooth. I don't know. It's just different, man. Just different. We out here smoking ass. We out here hauling ass. What the fuck is that? Gives me a reflex because I whip too hard? It reflexes me when I whip too hard? Come on now. Come on now. I can't stand... That's another little thing I cannot stand about games when they try to, like... It's like a physics bug is what it is. That's what that just was right there. That's a physics bug because I whipped too fast to where the game thought I was literally, like, crashing, you know, turning so hard that I was crashing right there, so it caused me to get a reflex in thin air. I wasn't even on the ground at all. Right? So it's that's really stupid. I don't like anything like that. I don't like when you know you try to huck and you're like pulling up on the front too far and you just pop off. Like you pull like this and then you just pop off. You don't in this game as easily as you would in like the official Supercross games and stuff like that. Those are terrible. You know, that's one thing I love about Reflex. You can twist, turn, whip, upside down, turn up, whip, do pretty much whatever the fuck you want in the air, and it's not just going to instantly pop you off in the air. It's not just going to, you know, reflex you in the air for no reason. You see what I'm saying? So it allows you to do a lot more in the air when it's like that. Like, there's times where you're like, really? Like, all I'm trying to do is huck the bike on the official Supercross game and some of those games. All I'm trying to do is just pull back on the bike just a little bit, literally like that much, and it just shoots you right off the bike like there's a sniper in the stadium. It's like, what the hell? I consider those more like physics bugs than anything. It just straight up shouldn't do that. You know, it did that in some games way back in the day, like I think maybe on Unleashed it might have done that a little bit, maybe Untamed but those were, you know, obviously way older games. There is no motocross game that should have done that after Reflex, basically, is what I'm getting at. You know, that like popping off in the air just because you whipped or turned too far or pulled up too much or whatever. That's really dumb. I think we're on lap 3 here. Out here on the old Stewie compound. That old Stewie compound. This has slowly but surely become the most legendary like track in the history of motocross gaming. No matter what the hell game you're playing. Slowly but surely. What's up, Zach? What's up, dude? Starting to notice quite a few of you boys' names hopping in here very frequently. I appreciate that continued support. This was a Mac Daddy jump right here. Oof. Had to get more speed before it. Dude, I just like riding the 250. I would much rather ride the 250 in this game than that 450. Oh, don't worry, Zach. MXGP 2020 is going to let you down. They just came out with gameplay on it. I'm making a video on it. It'll be out tomorrow, but trust me, they are going to let you down. Sadly, but it does look like that in the gameplay that they just came out with. It looks like MXGP 2019.2. It's about where I'd put it. So no changes to the track at all. Exact same tracks designs like you would have had. Okay, now we're level 24. We're getting close. Exact same kind of track designs like you had in MXGP 2019. No pre-made, no fucking nothing, small jump bullshit. All that's the same. Physics look very similar to MXGP 2019. You know, maybe with a little bit more of a kiss of the SX3 physics a little bit, which is good, but like, come on now. It's still way not at all what it needs to be. So I think you're going to run into that same old same milestone, not changed enough shit, you know? Yeah, like I just wouldn't buy MXGP 2020. There's just no point. Some dude said, you hope they have free whips. Well, the problem with that is when every jump on the track is shorter than 50 foot, it's kind of pointless to even have a good whip system. That's the problem. They're not even making they're making their jump scaling so damn small on their motocross replica tracks that you're barely even getting in the air anyways. Right? So even if they had the most amazing whip system ever, the damn jumps ain't even big enough to even use it, really. That's been a really big issue with their games for a minute. Their MXGP games specifically. You know, they got to make those jumps bigger, man. They're just making them way too one-to-one scale. You cannot make replica one-to-one scale motocross jumps for an arcade motocross game. That shit is so boring. Just kills all the fun factor. There's just no fun factor to that. Once we get to level 25 right here, then we can hop on that whole different kind of biome vibe that was like the champion with the castle and shit on it in this game. That was kind of funny. Let's try first person camera. Holy shit. Is that Mike Alessi? Saw 800. Man, this is a little shaky. Oh, damn. But at least you can see the front fender pretty good. I'm getting rocked now. I can't see what the hell is going on. This little slot camera is always a good time. See those scrub daddies, boys. See those scrub daddy fatties. From the side angle. Yeah, by the way, just letting you know, I obviously have some visual enhancements to this stream. So I've got the brightness turned up like 15%, got the saturation turned up a little bit. So this is not exactly how this game would have looked like just standardly. You know, I definitely touched it up a little bit to make it look a little better, but it's not like touched up a crazy amount, just a little bit. But it's worth noting that, you know, if you plug this into your TV right now, you know, it's probably not going to look quite as good unless you do a little bit of adjustments on brightness and saturation and shit. It's probably not going to look quite as good as this gameplay does. Oh, God, I hate that. when you get T-boned and you have to pull the other direction to fix yourself in a reflex, which is inevitably gonna send you off of the track, that's a little annoying. Alright, we gotta make some passes out here. It's really fun riding in this side view where you can't see where you're going at all. It's a really good time on a track that you've not rode on in like 7 years. It's really cool. Okay, kind of getting my shit together here. Got to do some major catching up though. Oh, like that right there, motherfucker. Because every time you go up the inside, it does that. All right, let's get this back normal cam. We got to get on the gas now. We can't be farting around. Cannot be farting around. Damn it. And then you kind of, I don't know, there's a weird vibe to the collision of this game where it's like people, like the AI on the track feels like blocks. You know, it feels like it's blocking you from going in front of yourself. It's not like you're going to crash running into people, but it's just it just blocks you. That can be very annoying because that can totally kill your momentum, but like nobody goes down. So it's like, holy shit. What? That dude heard me talking about him, I swear to God. That dude just rocked my ass like, holy. That dude just hit it from the back, and I did not like it like that. God bless, that's putting us back. That dude was like, what the hell you saying about me, bro? So I think they might have went a little overboard with this game, trying to make it like, you know, oh, you can bump bars. Look at all this bar banging. You know, they went like a little overboard to where it turns into literal, you know, WWE level wrestling, bumping into people, and nobody ever goes down unless it's some like little random weird bug situation. Well, got the podium. Damn, we're getting close. One more race and we got it. Level 25. We'll run it on this really short track so we can get it done quick. Let's get it done quick, boys. Get it done quick. Kanoko, all time. Got to run 5 laps on these short ones. So they do even it out a little bit. We've been streaming for like 2 hours, I think. I don't hardly make any live content, so it's kind of cool doing something different. My viewership staying pretty consistent around that 50-60 mark in this stream, even though we did get all the way up to 104 at one point. So I'm happy with that. Stream's popping off. You boys are popping off. The super chats and the memberships have slowed down a little. That's kind of interesting. Not really sure what's going on there, but it's all good, bro. Oh, shit. I think once I build my memberships a little more and people realize what all they actually get with that, and you know, the fact that I'm going in there on my Discord and they can actually talk to me in the Dudeski voice channel and things, I think when a lot of people start to realize all that about it, I'll get more members. I'm starting to make like members only videos and, you know, members only live streams and things like that. I think that'll push it quite a bit. But I don't want to get too into that, you know. I don't want to make a bunch of members-only videos and members-only streams, then not make content for people that aren't members. You know, you got to be careful with that. I hit A. I don't know if I got all the way to 25. Motherfucker, we're right there. God dang it. We got to run one more race. Of course. Of course. Of course. We're like 200 XP away. Yeah, that definitely looks like they got some narrow vibes again on MXGP 2020. Super narrow, one-to-one scaling. The jumps do look a little bit bigger, but not much. Not much. It's like they might have made the jumps like maybe 5% bigger or 10% than what they were in MXGP 2020 or 2019, but not a lot. Not a lot, not a lot. Okay, once we get to level 25, then we can go to that cool castle track. That shit was kind of legendary. That was kind of big hossing back in the day. Got to win this one real quick, and then we'll be there. You can certainly get to big hossing on this track if you nail these corners perfectly. Kind of sweeping them around like so. Oof! Barely. That was a little close. A little close for comfort there, Svency boy. A little close for comfort. Oh my god. You're always going to have at least one collision during one of these races. At least one. Okay. Of course, I have the HUD turned off now, so I have no idea what lap I'm on. There we go, finally. Now we're going to them good tracks, boys. We going to them good tracks. Okay. Gotta give me some Planers Mixed Nuts vibes going. Not sponsored. Not sponsored. Okay, now we can go down to these little puppies. Catapult Canyon, Bamboo Hills. These are the big daddies. Let's do a little bit of this. This was an interesting vibe of a track right here. Some like European style castle GP level. I don't know what you really call this. Okay. Okay. Trying to remember these jumps. Oh shit. That was big hossing. Triple here. Yeah, gotta hit that. Oh my god. Easy, boys. Easy. Oh, that's a big one. Okay. These guys ain't playing around. They're still living, this AI is still living back in 2011. It's been about a decade since I rode on this shit. Takes me a minute. Ah! Oof. Oh my god, just got reflexed on the whoops. Get the hell out of here. You know you can't hang with Spency boy. What the hell are you thinking, Doug? What the hell are you thinking? Ooh, we got to hit that outside. Okay. Yeah, I got to remember, like, a couple of these jumps, you got to go around the outside. Couple of them. That one you don't necessarily have to. I don't necessarily just absolutely love the whole, like, when you start going faster in this game, it gives you this, like, oh my god, this screen is shaking, bro. Oh my god, I'm about to, like, shoot off to another dimension. I don't really know what that, like, motion blur screen shake shit is. That's a little weird. It's kind of almost like a false sense of speed in a way. It's like they added, like, actual effects to the screen to make it look like you're going faster when you go faster. Reflex feels more like it just feels like you're going faster when you're going faster. It's not like some little, you know, shake effect or some little, you know, thing to it. Certainly better than the first Supercross game where it just feels like you're going maximum speed the entire time, no matter how fast you're going. Certainly better than that horse shit. Ooh! Here I am still hitting the inside on the line that I do not need to hit to the inside. Always takes me at least a couple laps to get my shit together. This one... Terrain deformation wasn't terrible in this game, though. You can see it's kind of got that kind of like reflexy, kind of like soft, but still kind of making ruts at the same time. Just digging down the jump faces for sure. Certainly wasn't as good as Reflex's terrain deformation system, but I've seen worse. Oh, we hit a line right there. Woo! Damn, they put a tabletop there. Holy. Almost think it'd be quicker to not even jump that, just like roll it. This little triple said wee all the way home. Triple. Okay. Alright. A little bit of a mud vibe on this track. Kind of cool. Now we're hitting that outside. Hell yeah. Oof. Yeah, that's one thing about this game. It's certainly a lot harder to hit, like, on-offs specifically. Like landing on flat and then still trying to carry the momentum, because there's just such a damn momentum loss when you land flat. Yeah, I think J-Mart's going to do really good on that new Yamaha. Let me just put a little bold prediction out right here. Jeremy Martin will win either the Supercross or the Motocross title in 250 class next year on that Yamaha. He will. He'll win one of the two. You know, I thought he should have never left Yamaha. I mean, hell, you just won 2 titles on it in outdoors and then you just leave the team? Come on now. I think that really killed his vibe doing that. Certain bikes just seem to fit certain riders, like I swear. Catapult Canyon, this shit's pretty legendary. Dude said in chat, the wheelies in this game are awesome. I don't really know what the definition of awesome is, but I'm not really the biggest fan of being able to, like, ride an infinite wheelie without having any skill at all. You know, like literally a 2-year-old could hop on this game and ride an infinite wheelie for infinite amount of time. Like, yeah, you don't want it too difficult, but I think it's just too easy. Way too arcadey on the whips and the the wheelies and the stoppies of this game. Like when I say you can ride an infinite wheelie your first day in this game, I mean you can ride an infinite wheelie the first day playing it. There is no sort of like wheelie skill gap, learning the wheelie system, working yourself up. You know, it actually takes a little bit of skill to be able to ride a long wheelie on Reflex and ride a stoppie quite a ways on Reflex. There's actually some skill to that. There's not really so much in this game. You can actually get the stoppies to the point in this game where you like, you're just sitting there on the front wheel, not going forward or backwards at all, just stopped, but you're in a stoppie, which is kind of stupid in my opinion. So it's all in how you want to look at it, you know. I'm more of a... I consider Alive just a little too far down that arcadey feeling for me personally. It's just a little too far down that way. You know, I like things to have a little bit more of a skill gap to it. But if you're not that hardcore of a motocross person, then yeah, it probably is a little more fun for you. But I don't know. There's such a rewarding feeling when something at least takes you a little bit of time to learn it, you know. Such a more rewarding feeling once you actually do learn it. It's a lot of fun when you ride a stoppie super long on Reflex. It's like, damn, that was sick. Or when you get that perfect snap scrub or that perfect turn-up whip on Reflex, like pretty hard to do. You know, it's fun when you're able to do that. Back to 81 dudes in the chat all of a sudden. What's up, boys? Holy shit. They're popping off. They're Big Daddy. They're big hossing tea, sipping, tea dripping. You can carry a lot of speed on this track. There ain't no doubt about that. Down these freaking downhills. Holy. Oh, Spency boy. Easy there, buddy. This, oh my God. Thanks for the boost. That helped me hit like a 7 jump in. Appreciate you. Whoa, spinning her a little bit. You can definitely break the wheel. Break the wheels on the ground, you know what I'm saying? You can definitely break loose on traction in this game. So you got to be thinking about that a little bit so you don't lose momentum. This is definitely not like a super arcadey game. You know, I've certainly played on more arcadey games than this. The first official Monster Energy Supercross game, you know what I mean? It's definitely not that arcadey, but when you compare it to Reflex, it certainly is. But it ain't like, oh my God, just the most arcade game ever. Definitely not like that. There is some skill to this game. There is some learning the game and getting faster, and you know, there is some of it. I just think there's more of it, more of that on Reflex, certainly. Now we're getting that vibe going. Now we're getting it going. Getting wild out here. This turkey's flying. This turkey's starting to fly. This turkey's getting his wings. Just got to learn the track a little here. It's like trying to contain a rocket ship blasting off to space when it gets all that screen shake and shit going down them super downhills. Be sure and hit that notification bell for the channel if you want to get the notification for my streams, because YouTube does not send out all notifications if you're just subscribed. So that's a little unfortunate. Okay. Tell you what, we needed some Bamboo Hills. This is probably my favorite track in this whole game. Well, that was easy. That was easy. Oh my God, let's spaz out. Yeah, all I gotta do is hit one button, bruh. The old Bamboo Hills. Shit's pretty good old time. Love the layout of this track. I was always a big fan of this layout. I was such a big fan of the layout of this track that I literally made a MX Simulator Tropical track based off of the layout of this track. That's what my Paradise track is actually based off of. This layout. Loosely based off of this layout. Love the scenery on this track too. Look at that off in the distance. That was always really cool back in the day. I appreciate all the support on these streams though. This is popping off, boys. I'm getting like 3 times the amount of views I would typically on a video in these streams, so I appreciate the shit out of it. Woo! Once you get to these later motocross tracks, definitely get more complex rhythms, more high-speed areas of the track and things like that. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool, bro. Holy Spency Boy, the legend. Just scrub-cornered. Just scrub-cornered. Like a boss. Like a big hoss. Look at, I did like all the shadowing and shading and shit on this track too. That was pretty cool. I like when they add little flare elements like that. Little different vibes like that. Holy shit, 100 dudes in the chat. Super chat from the old dudeski TKO Smokey with the $4.99. Ripping and sipping, he says. As always, dude. Ski. As always, I appreciate that super chat. First one I got all stream. Really appreciate you. 100 dudes in the fucking stream right now. Are you kidding me, bro? Oh, now we're back down to 86. All right, way to kill my vibe. Cool, appreciate you. We've hit above 100 twice in this stream now, so it's getting to be a little more of a normal occurrence to have 100 people in my stream. So that's awesome. It's not like such a rare thing now. Like, oh my God, bro, I'm hitting 100. Now it's like kind of more typical. Love that little smoky vibe in the distance too. There was a bigger jump here. Yeah, I think you can actually triple. Yeah, we're going to have to try to hit that next lap there, dude. Gotta love when you've chugged like 3 gallons of tea and you got to take the fattest piss of your life, but you're like having too much fun to get up and do it, and you're in the middle of a race. It's a real fun time. Oh, we about jumped to there. Holy shit. TKO Smokey with another super chat donation, another $4.99. He says, let's get these tips going, boys. Damn, dog, I appreciate you. So, yeah, just letting some of you guys know, before you do send a super chat, if you're going to send anything over like $4, you probably want to look into the memberships in my channel before you do that, because that's only $4.99 anyways, so you'd get all those perks as well on top of that. So, yeah, but I appreciate that. Damn, dog. 2 super chats, TKO Smokey out here big hossin'. The dudeski out here big hossin'. I will be in the Dudeski voice chat sometime soon. TKO Smokey, hope you can make it to the next little MX Bikes little dude ski gameplay that we do. That's a little perk you get with becoming a member of the channel. Oh, damn, Spency boy. Easy. Easy. This pony's trying to get away from you. Easy. Oh, shit. Dude, I'll tell you one thing. It makes streaming so much easier / worth it / I don't know what you call it when you get super chats and memberships along with, you know, obviously making money off of the ads. There's that trip ski. We got to hit it a little harder. Tell you what, though, it makes me want to stream, like, really. Makes me want to stream every day. When I get super chats and memberships, it's like, okay, yeah, we're going to start streaming every single day. So it keeps the train going, keeps the big dog going. Keeps the big dog going. Fuck you just tell me, boy? Fuck you just tell me, boy? Well, that's kind of funny, isn't it? Kind of funny when that happens. Stop cussing, bro. You gotta have those cuties in the chat every once in a while. Okay, we're sitting in like 4th place, I think. Last lap, I'm pretty sure. We're definitely not in 4th. What the hell position we in? 2 dudes right here. Let's see. Okay, that's the finish. That's the finish. Okay, we got another super chat from Mark. $4.20. What an absolute legend and a half. That's big Hossin status. Big Hossin blazing status. Okay, still a couple more of these finale tracks we haven't been to. Tell you what, this little short track one's kind of fun. It's almost like a supercross track. Let's go to this shit. This one is pretty fun. Mark out here, the absolute legend with the $4.20 super chat. You know he's sipping on that tea. Boys, I've got to take a fat piss. Let me hit the pause button right quick ski. That tea's hitting good. I can't hit the pause button. Okay, BRB. BRB in a jiffy, boys. Holy. We back at it again. 69 dudeski's in the chat. Giggity. My PC's getting a little toasty over here. I don't know if you can hear it. It's going. Got them fans kicking on. Okay. We're on this pretty cool little... So this almost turned into, even though it's supposed to be one of those little figure 8 tracks of the game, it's the last one you get. It kind of turned into more of a supercrossy vibe. Or more like arena cross, actually. That's kind of more like where I'd put it. Kind of ended up like being the arena cross of Alive. But then, you know, we got those DLC arena cross shits supposed to be supercross. They kind of turned out being more like arena cross in the game. Those were kind of so-so. You know what I mean? So that was a little unfortunate, but oh boys. This one right here is still pretty cool, though. Oh, yeah. You're better hold on. Or you're. Let's take it back to 03. Holy. Look at the deformation, though. That is certainly doing something. Deformation doing a little something. You can go stupid fast on this track if you just, like, basically don't come off the ground. You just scrub the shit out of it. I'm trying to jump over where these guys are going. I'm kind of struggling to do it. Whoa. See how it's kind of wore down the whoops there? It's kind of funny. Sup, MLG? Sup? Spency boy out here playing Alive. What the hell is this? Alright. Alright. Hey, they did have some interesting gear in this game. They had that little tropical vibe shit. I wonder if I even have that. Let me look. Customize the old rider. You know, we got that purple perp skirt. Let's see. It was One Industries. Here it is. Tropic Thunder. Yeah. I think there was a helmet that went with it too. Guess I don't have that yet. Would have been right there. Either way. Woo! Okay. Bell Moto 9s are like a... There we go. Little Matty action. Not bad. Why do I have default goggles on? Come on, Spencer. Yeah, my stream schedule is every day, dog. I got 6 jobs. I don't get tired, dude. Okay, let's see. Utopia? That's kind of a vibe. Holy. Yeah, I stream every day about, like, anywhere from 1 p.m. to fucking 5 p.m. CST. That's about what I've been on. Tropic Thunder, bro. That was a funny-ass movie when that first came out. Okay, we didn't ride on this one. Piston Valley was fun, too. Holy shit. We didn't ride on this one. Let's go to Piston. Damn, I remember racing quite a bit on this with my buddies on split screen. Oh, trust me, boys. When we get to a certain level, there's going to be Spencer Turley T, my own personal T, There's going to be everything, dog. Galaxy energy drinks. I mean, come on now. Come on now. Yeah, there's going to be a few dudes that get a little offended when you're this much of a big hoss. It happens. You know, it happens. Dude, I love this gear though. Holy shit. Holy. Dude is on a KTM looking ass, camo looking ass. I don't even know what the hell. Oh, the scrub daddy. Don't even have the scrub perked unlocked. Look at me go. Look at me go. Somebody remade this damn track in MX Sim. Oh, if you need a reminder on who's the big hoss, there you go. Yeah, somebody made a replica of this shit on Sim. It was kind of some hot dookie, not gonna lie. I mean, it was cool that they tried to make a replica, but I think they might have missed the mark a little bit. Oh, shit. They didn't have hardly any of the same, like, off-track, you know. It's kind of just a layout replication, really. But I do like some of the different line potentials on this game. There's a lot of corners you can either go, like, way inside or go way outside, and it's, you know, it's not like you can just still hit the jump no matter where you hit it in the corner. You know, there's definitely some, you know, line balance to what kind of jumps you're going to be able to hit and rhythms depending on if you hit the outside or the inside or the middle or the whatever. You know, there definitely is some of that in this game, no doubt. And this dude are straight battling. You can snap scrub a little in this game. You definitely can. Kind of do a little turn-uppy vibe. God damn. You can definitely scrub on that. Yeah, I've got something set up in my actual recording software that automatically deafens the gameplay a little bit when I talk. So that's inside of my actual recording software that does that. That just makes it to where, you know, if you're shooting on like Call of Duty or PUBG or whatever, it's going to lower that shit down a little to where you can actually hear what the hell I'm saying. And in these motocross games, it makes it to where I can have the bike audio a little bit louder. So when I'm not talking, you can hear the audio of the game better. When I am talking, you can hear me better. So it's kind of a win-win. Yeah, I'm using a full-blown studio level, you know, plugged into the mixer, mic, and all that kind of shit. Yes, sir. The old Piston Valley. The old Wiseco Valley. No big deal. Kind of cut this corner in a little. Oh, the Spency boy out here with the scrubs. Just call me Stewie. Just call me Stewie. Whew. Carry a lot of speed around that shit. Oh, I thought that corner cut quicker than that. Holy crap. Oh my god. I feel like we're fucking flying. This dude is still running in front of me, though. He's got it going on a little bit. I need to hit this better right here. Oh, shit. Little barrel. Little barrel trying to cheese me. Oh my god, I have no idea what lap I'm on. That was it, I think. Shit. Yeah, it was. Damn, we got second. Okay. Either way, boys, I appreciate you tuning in to the stream. We'll be BRBing it pretty soon. I'll have that MXGP 2020 gameplay video coming out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Be sure and hit that join button if you want to become a member. Hit that notification bell, you know what it is. I'll be streaming again in like a day or two. So, yeah, appreciate all that support. Later, dude.